All right, so what we're really getting at here is your energy is your what? Your state of mind. Come on, talk back to me, right? Just like we used to do in church or in some of the southern churches, right? Okay, state of mind. What else? How we feel in our bodies, right? So our energy and our state, it affects our state of mind and it affects our bodies. So I'm going to show you how your focus can change your state of mind. Ladies, have you ever found yourself in a depressed state of mind, in a down state of mind? And have you thought about, how do I shift that? You have the absolute ability to shift it like this. Do you realize that? And it's all based on what you're focusing on. So we're going to go over here and look at state. Who controls your state of mind and the state of your physical body and the energy you feel? Right? Just back to the same question. Who do you control? What do you control? You control your state of mind. You control your physical body. And there are two ways you can make that absolute immediate shift in your state of mind by using your focus. I have heard for so many years about this new practice, not new anymore, called the gratitude practice. Do we see that on Facebook all the time? Do we see that on Instagram all the time? Just have a practice of gratitude. How many of you have heard about it, have thought about it, but it sounds a little kind of fuzzy to you, like a little, yeah? How many of you really believe in the gratitude practice? I happen to agree with you. But it does kind of sound a little, I don't know, I'm just going to say a little heebie-jeebie, right? What is this gratitude practice thing? I like to call it focusing on your gains rather than your gaps. Do you know what I'm talking about with that? So, let's talk about your focus and how it affects your mind and how you can become empowered like this. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to ask you to focus on a certain set of things in your life, and I'm going to have you close your eyes, not yet. I'm getting heebie-jeebie on you, okay? We're going to do this little exercise, and then I'm going to have you focus on a different set of things in your life. So what we're talking about when we're talking about focusing on the gains rather than the gaps is we tend to very frequently give our power away by, at the end of the day or at the end of the week, saying, oh, I didn't get everything done on my to-do list. I should have, right? Anybody do this? Oh, look back on my goals, on my New Year's resolutions. Everybody hates talking about New Year's resolutions because you look at them 3 or 4 months later, and what do you start saying to yourself? I should have. I didn't. I have to. I really need to get this project started. Do you see how that doesn't feel so great when you say that? Because what are you focusing on? The gap, all the stuff you didn't accomplish. I've got some crackerjack paralegals in the room. Ladies, raise your hands. Okay. 2 of my paralegals are sitting right here, Shannon and Kristen. And one of the things that our paralegals do every week, you guys probably just did it today, right, is they prepare for the next week. And as part of their planning, they do these worksheets. And one of the questions that's asked on the worksheets, and we really don't let you get away with not doing it, right, Kristen, is name 3 things that you are proud of that you accomplished this week. What are we doing? We're saying, what were your gains? Because especially as women, I think we put so much on ourselves and we feel so behind all the time that we don't take time to notice our gains. Did you take time to make that hair appointment and finally get your nails done and your hair done that you've been putting off? I know, I do it all the time. To me, that's a gain, right? Because I have a little trouble with that sometimes. Did you go on that date with your significant other, your spouse, that you've been putting off? Gain. That's a win, right? What else? Did you finish that college class that you'd been taking and you'd wanted to take for a long time, and maybe you got a B in it, but you really wanted an A, but you finished it, right? Gain. Why aren't you looking at that instead of, I only got a B. I wish I had an A. That's a gain. So that's what we talk about. And I will tell you that in our law practice, yes, I still practice law, but I have this lovely attorney here, Rachel Bennett, Esquire, my associate attorney, who helps tremendously. We practice in the area of family law, one of the more emotionally, mentally challenging areas because we're dealing with people's stuff, not a business transaction, their stuff, their most personal stuff every day. And we spend an awful lot of time with our clients helping them look at the gains rather than the gaps. The gains look like, okay, good. You've had 4 supervised visits with your child this week because you had a restraining order issued against you. Okay, gets real. But you went to the visits and you went to all your anger management classes. Gain. While the client may be saying, but my children aren't going to know who I am and I'm such a screw up, I can't believe I lost my temper and I did that bad thing. And my marriage is in the pits. And but. Are they able to see their future when they're looking at the gaps? We look at the gains. Okay, so ladies, are you ready to go on a little trip with me on focusing on the gains and the gaps? I want you to see how it makes you feel. So I hope you know everybody at your table. You don't have to tell your deepest secrets to anybody there. But what I want you to do is I want you, and we're going to, if we can, get the lights down just a little bit. I want you to close your eyes. Trust the ladies at your table. They're not going to take anything out of your purse or tell anybody your deepest, darkest secrets, okay? So I want you to close your eyes now, ladies. Every set of eyes closed in this room. I told you it was going to get a little weird, but you needed to trust me, right? Okay. So as your eyes are closed, I want you to think very deeply about the things that you are not, the things that you should be. Maybe it's the things that a parent who hasn't been very supportive has told you all along that you're not good enough in this area, or a spouse. Or maybe it's things you've told yourself, I'm not this, I'm not good enough in that. I should be at this point in my career. At this age, I should be this wealthy or this debt-free. I want you to think about it. Continue to think about it. Keep thinking about it. And turn off your phone, Rachel. Turn off my phone. All right. So, as you're thinking about these things, these gaps, what are your gaps? I want you to notice something. How do you feel overall? What are your emotions that you're feeling? Just notice, without opening your eyes, what your posture is. Is it comfortable? Is it slumped over? Where is your head? Do you have your head up or your head down? Are your shoulders up? Are your shoulders down? As you think about all these things that are your gaps. And then notice your breathing. Are you breathing easy? Is there a tension in your chest as you think of these things? What is it? Okay. Open your eyes, ladies. Probably not the most pleasant thing to go through. Anybody enjoy that? No. Right? Ladies, is there anyone who wants to share with me, how did that make you feel? Like, what are some of the feelings you felt as you went down that lovely road? Yes, ma'am.
That I was fortunate to be encouraged to go there.
Yeah. So.
I probably wouldn't do it on my own unless I was here.
Okay. That's one, for sure. Being grateful that you went there. Okay. Anybody else? How did you feel when you went down that road, thinking of those things that weren't your favorite things to think of? Yes, ma'am. Defeated. Yes. That's a pretty common thing, isn't it? And as you felt defeated, what was your body doing? Pulling into yourself. Yeah, that's an interesting thing to see happening when you're doing this up here, right? Anyone else feel defeated? Yeah? Not a good place we want to stay. Anyone else? How was your breathing? Can you describe your breathing for me? Deep breaths, shallow breaths, rapid breaths. What was it? Shallow, right? Okay, let's flip the switch. Close your eyes again, ladies. We're going to the gains. Now, with your eyes closed, thinking about all the things you do have. All the things you have from a relationship point of view. And I want you to think of all of the love that comes around that. Everything you have from a material point of view. Do you have a car to drive? Do you have the ability to put gas in the car to drive it places? Do you have a job? Is there food in the refrigerator? All the things you have. And as you think about all the things you have, I want you to take your hands and place them over your hearts. And continue to think about all the things you have, all the gains that you've made, all the wins. And just say thank you. And feel what it feels like to appreciate those gains and to be thankful for those gains. Now I want you to notice, as you're thinking about the gains and all that you have, and as you're thankful for them, how do you feel? How's your breathing? Are you feeling tense or relaxed? How is your posture? Ladies, open your eyes. Difference? So, anyone want to share with me how you felt during this focus on the gains? Yes. Blessed. Oh, that's a beautiful descriptor. What else? Sally. Enlightened. What does enlightened feel like?
No darkness anywhere. Beautiful day.
Life's beautiful. Right. Okay. And how were you feeling in your posture and in your breathing? Say that again? Relaxed. Big difference from focusing on the gaps. Anyone else? What'd you notice on your breathing? Any deeper? Freer? Isn't it interesting that when you focus on your gains and all that you have, you can go from defeated to blessed, like that. Where focus goes, energy flows. It's a pretty simple concept. It's really not that difficult, but I think sometimes we forget about it. And to me, that's what the gratitude practice is. So the bigger question is, did you feel empowered or disempowered when you focused on the gaps? Disempowered, right? And it goes to say, when you focused on the gains, how did you feel? Empowered. Did you feel like maybe you could take on a little bit more in that relaxed state? All right, so I know we get very busy in our lives, and really I'm not a touchy-feely person. But when you learn this and master this, it is pretty surprising how fast you can change your mindset and change your state. And that state, and the reason that's awfully important is because it leads you to what? Empowerment. That's why we say it begins with you.